Are they too hot?
No.
Are they just right, forage?
Yes, you're just right.
They don't. Don't be sharing your vittles. They already had theirs. Let's shake the standing turtle a couple times. This thing's kind of cool. No, it's hella dope is what it is. Kind of cool, please.
It's what?
It's a turtle rattle because I'm standing turtle.
Oh, you're
Standing turtles do not run.
They don't run.
We do not run. Standing turtles don't run. That's my next tattoo. I just don't know who's going to be the one to give it to me. We'll see. We'll see. The story continues. Vinny, I thank you to not make my brains rattle. Good dog. You're a good boy. Yes, you're a good dog. Mr. Iski got me that sign one time. Boop. Boop. What is... Oh, it's because it's a weird time of day. The sun's going down, so the camera's going to have a real hard time catching up, adjusting with the lighting, because it's going to constantly change. So, that's how that's going to work. That's how that's going to go down. What else? Yeah, I think you did not. Mom, are you eating your vittles? Did I put sour cream in there or no? Yeah, I did. Oh, my feet hurt. I gotta take off my shoes. They aren't as comfortable as they used to be. Look how much that just... I just feel like I came down like 2 inches. I'm only small in stature. Yeah, I'm in an impeccably good mood today. It's just it's I can't believe the stories of our lives, Ma.
The story of their whole life.
Yeah, they're better than freaking that Stan Lee stuff.
Oh.
Benny concurs. So, Ma, I gotta ask you a question. I'd like to tell the story of you tonight if I could. Because you're a pretty remarkable woman in your own right. And you've been through a lot, and I would like to tell the story of you and how it all ties in and how miracles happen. God is alive and well. If you just follow your heart, if you live good and just don't be a jerk and be kind to people and help people out as much as you can, the universe opens up doors in ways that you just can't. I couldn't have even seen this coming. And it's funny because every time they say a true, these are the planetary alignments when your planets are in this position when you're born in these degrees, the potentials for when they've been these degrees before in history, truths have been revealed, big truths. And every time that happens, I'm like, okay, here we go. What is it? Because I'm trying to be completely neutral because I'm not trying to anticipate. I don't want to worry about something, be scared that something's going to happen, then something's going to happen if I'm afraid of it. But if I'm cool and, okay, we'll just take things as they come and how things unfold, and it's not always good news. The last time, stop, Mom, are you done? The last time, the last few times this has happened in the last, less than, 6 months, my sister died. I don't know, just all this stuff with the whole story and what I'm going to tell here is just I can't make this stuff up. It's incredible. I called my brother. That's how remarkable it is. I just was like, okay, so here we go. So you don't mind if I tell your story, Ma? No. Starting, because this is just bits and pieces that I've got. No. Go. I'm not dealing with that staunchy freaking male bullshit. Just no. Lie down. You're a good dog. You're a good dog. Are you done, Mom?
Yes.
Artie, go. Go. Good dog. Good boy. Go on. Good dog. Love you much. Good dog. I have very hard energy. I spend a lot of energy subduing my own energy. Man, I got hard placements, man. I'm a hard ass. That is for sure. Hard ass. Hard ass Hessick. The military was too wussy for me. The standards weren't good enough, so I only did 6 because I'm like, this is stupid, dude. I don't want to be a part of killing people in places we got no business being in. All right, here we go. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. Here's my favorite picture of my niece. Is she so cute? She's 7 now. She's doing jujitsu. We got to video chat the other day, and she showed her that she was like, oh, she doesn't kick. And so I'm like,
She was doing it.
oh. And she was like this. I can't wait to tell her I'm all the fun her dad ain't. Her dad's a Virgo. He's, oh my God, having conversations with him. And he's like a Virgo. I don't know, he's so Virgo. He and my dog have the same birthday, and they have oddly similar personalities. It's quite funny. So, all right, I gotta just ground myself out a little bit. I am overstimulated. It's been Tucker got his stitches out. He's over there. He kept licking it, so I put the cone back on him. I didn't ask him if I should put anything on it. Yeah, they didn't say anything about it. We started talking about tattoos. I showed the doctor came in, took out the stitches. He saw the bottom of it because spring's coming, so they get to come out. So he saw the bottom of it.
But he's okay.
Yeah, he's all right. I should have just busted out in the freaking vet office. But I asked him today, I said, you guys do those in-home euthanasia things? Because that's just good to know. That's just useful information. So, anyway, fucking clothes. I hate clothes. Get all binded up. So, he saw the top of it, so I was like, I just pulled back my shirt and showed him. This is my Portland one. I got it. How far does it go? Holy hell. See, I believe tattoos are scars that we got from things that happened in past lives. Or maybe even things that happened in lives that we haven't even had happened yet. Who knows? All things possible universe, right? Multi-universe. I mean, for every consciousness, there's a universe. So, I mean, how many different versions of Earth are there? Round ones, flat ones, donut hole ones, a-hole ones. What are you doing, Stanley? Everybody's all fish fidgety. I'm going to put my shirt back on, though, because I'm kind of chilly. I'm not that overachievery. I showed my neighbor it today, because... Anyway. All right, Marge, focus. Mom.
You showed him what?
My artwork.
Oh.
I asked my the girl that did this, I'm like, so do fat people have to pay a lot of extra money because they got so much extra skin?
What did she say?
People just they just can't believe I asked the questions that I ask. But I want to know. So you got to ask the questions you want to know. Just how God made me. Anyway. Tucker rode in the Suburban today. He liked it. He wanted in the back seat. I put him on the back bench. And he was just like,
He was having fun.
Yeah, he liked it. He liked it a lot. We're going to put all of them in there one day here pretty soon. The AC works in it even. But I want to get that fan that plugs in. It's ginormous. It has, I got to check the wiring. Because there's like some mice droppings in it. So I don't know if he stored it in a barn or whatever, but I gotta check the wiring, so I'll go through it. Fun. Okay. So, Mom, you were... This is the story as I put it together from just like kids have we're just little kids are sponges. People are sponges. They retain a lot of data and information.
More so than a lot of people.
Right. When people but they retain so much. I remember so much when I was a little girl. Now I hadn't a really, I didn't have like, you know, the childhood that a lot of people had. I don't need to go into it, but I paid real close attention. Because I'm Scorpio moon, too, so I'm always, like, investigating. I always knew that there was something in my past, that I was, like, a part of something really taboo, and then that was verified. So it's like I have these beliefs, and then they're verified later, you know, in life. And so Mom was she was born in 1950. And all we knew about her, and then I found her birth certificate, and it says that she was adopted in 1953, so she was 3 years old. So that tells me that she was in some that she was in some sort of orphanage of some sort. So I put together this story throughout the years of just like, because she's always been real closed-mouthed. She doesn't real share a lot. So it's been, you know, she used to when she was younger, but as she's gotten more reserved in her twilight years, huh, Ma? Mm-hmm. Yep. So I did find documentation that we, you know, drug around all over from Omaha to Salem, Oregon to Flagstaff, Arizona, to Taos, New Mexico, or Rancho de Taos, New Mexico, to Arroyo Hondo. That's where we ended up. So anyway, that'll come later. So Mom was born, and see what happened was I believe what happened was she was born in New Mexico in the 1950s to a small town couple. Got knocked up, chasing sensations, right? They had this baby, and this baby had 2 club feet. That is not a common thing for a person to be born with 2 club feet. I've met one other person, I just met her out here like 6 months ago in passing, and she was born with 2 club feet.
Was she an older lady?
No, she was younger. So, Ma, you were the guinea pig back in the... See, so what they did is they took her from her family, said you can't pay for all the surgeries that are going to be required to take care of her feet, so we're going to put her in an orphanage and adopt her out to a nice, you know, family that's established. Evidently the administrator of the hospital wanted to adopt her. He was some sort of alcoholic, so they didn't want to put her in his care. How different our lives would have been. Anyway, so she got adopted to Robert Yoakum and Margaret Yoakum. And when she was, I don't know, at some point when she was in high school, I believe they moved from because she remembers like Albuquerque, because that's where she had her surgeries on her feet. So you remember New Mexico, and she said she's been to the Pueblo in Taos, and I'm going to take her again here once I watch the truck and I can look out the windows. Because they're all muddy right now. I love it. Anyway, so she was put into... Benny, stop it. So she was put into the orphanage, and then the Yoakums adopted her, and then they moved out to California when Mom was in high school. Mom went to Ventura High School. And then she went off on a different route. She went up and she to, you know, rebelling, getting... I think she met a fella and went up and met him. John Cook was your first husband. Well, that was a planetary alignment of finding out stuff. You know? And then she met my dad. and then she and my dad had had my brother, and then they had me, and I was born in San Bernardino, Riverside, near there. I'm technically a Malayalian, I declare, and she craptastic. I don't know what happened between my parents. It's the story is that is a story that I haven't fully found out yet. I'm kind of chicken. It's one of those things. It's like I'll ask all the questions. I will ask all the questions. You know, if I want to know something, I'm not gonna haw him about it. I'll be like, hey, is this like, are we having the same experience? Are we sharing the same reality, or am I sharing a different reality than you right now? Just make it clear, okay? I have no problem with doing things like that. It doesn't bother me. I mean, I used to get my feelings hurt all the time, but not so much anymore. But this is kind of a biggie. So anyway, snap the power. Rad. Boop. So when I was born, so on top of mom having like 6 or 7 surgeries on her feet each, right? She was a guinea pig, mind you. She was a baby. She was a little baby, and so they cut up her. I mean, I just soaked her feet a little while ago and put lotion. I do it every few days so they stay out, because she don't like getting in the shower. She don't like getting in the tub. She don't like getting in the shower. So I'm constantly washing things on her, so we don't do it all at the same time, because she's like 4 and she gets fussy and it's hard. So not fussy, but just like, I mean, she doesn't like it. I don't like it either. Neither of us do, so we just tried it. Okay, today it's arm day. We do our arm days and leg days and stuff like that, and it was feet day today. So, and the scars on her legs, man, I can't even imagine, because I had one Brostrom procedure on my left ankle, and the sensitivity from that one surgery, and I lost mobility from that. She can't point her toes. They're permanently fixed in a 45-degree angle. So like she can't point her toes. So like I gotta be mindful of the pants I get her and stuff, because they can't be. And everybody wants those narrow legs, and it's like, dude, she can't point her fucking legs. It's so stupid. So what do I cut? You know, just she wears a lot of sweats. Huh, Ma? You comfy in your sweats? Yep, they're better than lounge outfits, huh? So when I was born, I was underdeveloped, because mom was so stressed out during her pregnancy that my organs hadn't developed. So they kept her in. She's my incubator. They kept me in the incubator as long as they could. So I was a late. Like they kept me in because they kept doing the fluid test. Nope, she ain't ready. She ain't ready. She ain't ready. And so finally, when it was because they wanted to take me on April 1st, and my mom said, no, I'm not going to let my daughter be born on April 1st. Nope. And they ended up, for whatever reason, I came out the 99th day of the year. April 9th. I love listening to Tucker's Store. That silence is going to be deafening later on, that's for sure. Anyway, so I was 6 pounds 4 ounces. I wasn't a big baby, but she wasn't a big woman. She's only 5 foot tall. She was pregnant with my brother. She was a half inch from being as round as she was tall. So, without her consent, when they did the cesarean, they cut her uterus in half, and they took out one of her ovaries. Because it was really, they were trying to, it was big pharma and selling, oh, you have an imbalance in you. Oh, you're hormonally imbalanced. Yeah, because you mutilated her and cut her uterus in half. Of course, they're like, you know, boo, boo, boo. They can't freaking fire off each other. Every month they go to fire off. She went out of her mind. It made it very hard for me as a child, and my brother too, and he's still mad about it. I'm not. I can understand. I can empathize. So when I was born, they cut her uterus in half, took it out, right? And then she come to find out, she's a very remarkable woman. She's all these done. See, she never worked. She didn't ever work. right? Because she knew that if we stayed in the system like that, at least we get to go to the dentist. Because she has a high school education, you know. This is the 1970s. I mean, she's pretty, but she can't stand on her feet all the time. Wear those high heels because of her freaking feet and stuff like that. So, I mean, she tried to find the man to take care of her and stuff, but it didn't work out. So, you know. And she went through hell with the 5-year custody suit. 5 years. I don't hear about custody suits that go on for 5 years now. That's because they were just trying to milk it and make life miserable for her. That's what I understand the legal system to do, is to make things hard on good people oftentimes. So she got this, an appreciation award, because she didn't work, but she always wanted to keep her time full, and she liked being around people. She's real social, so she'd go volunteer. I wonder how many people she came in contact with in the Anderson Welcome Center at the outlet mall in Anderson, just south of Redding, California there. Hundreds, thousands, Ma? You did that a while, huh? And then she did it in Old Shasta? Old Shasta ain't even there. She is history, so that's why I speak for her. She's soft-spoken, and she doesn't really. She's way more modest than me. So we're just gonna get to. I don't want to talk for an hour, and we're already at 21 minutes because I'm just kind of. As a matter of fact, I made a new batch of cookies today. I don't like them. I don't like them. We'll just say that. I don't like them. I used a different kind of flour. Well, they're better now. I just did little mini M&Ms this time. They're a little green. They're bueno. I don't like how they make my eyes all glazed. Anyway, there's a lot of mini chocolate chips in there. This is so rude. How dare I? So, we're going to just fast forward because I talked about Arroyo Hondo in a video like 3 days ago. So, to recap just a little bit. I could refer people to the Arroyo Hondo video, but Minnie, you're okay, bud. I'll just summarize. So, we had to leave Oregon in 2020, October, and Taos, New Mexico was the closest place from Salem, Oregon that I could find, and I found it through YouTube, 2 YouTube video chats. 2 people helped me navigate. One place in Arizona that we landed initially by invitation, and then that didn't work out. And then another found a contact here in Taos. The first time in Salem, and then when we were in Arizona and we were desperate. So it's like, so that's what God only gives me one option, and I take it. Right? I just, okay, this is it. All right? I have listened to my guidance my whole life, and I understand why now. Benny, you're okay. He's mad because he wants to sit by Grandma Red. Ma, you can go back here and sit by here. Let's just remedy that. He wants to sit by you because he's getting spoiled, old goofy bastard. He wants to sit by you. Come here, Benny. Come here. Come here. Come here. Sit by your Grandma Retta. And he couldn't because Tucker's on top of the kennel, and if he were to jump on the chair, he'd get yelled at by Tucker. I know how this stuff. Look at him. He's fine now, huh? He wanted to sit by his Grandma Retta. So, okay. 3 years ago, and okay, so we ended up in here in Rancho de Taos, which is it's like right outside of Taos, New Mexico, northern New Mexico. And so before we left Oregon, like 3 years ago, my brother had a DNA test sent to mom because she was adopted. And we were just always kind of curious what would happen with that. What would transpire with that. So it said that her lineage is from the southern Colorado, northern New Mexico region. Well, at that time, I was in Oregon, and New Mexico was not on my radar because I was busy handling all the stuff happening in life then. So, one day at a time. So I tabled it. And then, but I got an email from a woman, a cousin. She's in San Francisco. And so we kind of casually started corresponding a little bit because I'm trying to put the puzzle together. And then couple weeks ago, or a couple months ago, we knew moving to Rancho de Taos that we only had like a year and a half. And then it turned into like 2 years, just shy of 2 years. Because the place we got is because her son went to prison. So we were just keeping his place, essentially. And I was like, all right, I'll take it. And then, housing is freaking crazy around here too. So I found an ad on Facebook Marketplace that a woman had like posted. She's like, she had posted it like an hour before. And I said, and I just drove out here to the address. And I said, maybe I could find somebody, and somebody's around I can talk to. And her son was out, and he gave me his mom's number, and she's written out the place. And I called her, and I said, "This is my situation. I take care of my mom and my dogs, and I'm quiet. I'm low key. I don't want no trouble. I take care of stuff, And my current landlord will give me a good recommendation." And she asked who she was, and I told her, and she knew her. And so she talked to her, and she gave me a good one, because she felt bad that I had to leave. And because I was like, she had it made with me. She milked me for a lot of stuff. I was feeding a lot of cats. I took care of the place. And whatever. And so we found this place out here in Arroyo Hondo, New Mexico, 2 miles from the John Dunn Bridge. Right? Now, a couple months ago, I looked at a trailer over here. I'm going to pronounce it wrong, I know. And it was on, Gardano Road. And I was telling the story to the woman at the post office, little post office over here. And she said, my dad is Anthony Gardano. And I was like, wow, that's cool. And so, well, no, that didn't happen yet. Anyway, so I got a message from that Tildy, mom's cousin, a couple weeks, not even, it was like Saturday or something like that. It wasn't even that long ago. And she said, my paternal grandparent, and I just was like, hey, how you doing? What's up? I said, we ended up in Arroyo Hondo because we had to move again. And then I said, so we're in Arroyo Hondo. And she said, my paternal grandparents were from Arroyo Hondo. They were Teofilo and Elisa Herrera. Elisa's parents were Cleotilde Rael, Manuel Santisteban. Teofilio's parents were Juan and Clorinda Herrera. And then she said, I've been meaning to call my Aunt Evelyn in Denver. She's 94. I can ask her also if she remembers Loretta. Also, have you seen that book about Arroyo Hondo written by Joseph Gardano? You might try the local library. They may have a copy. In the back of the book is a compilation of residents who lived in Arroyo Hondo from 1900 to 1990. Perhaps you may find some clues. So of course I told my Earth that of course she sent it, as she ordered it and sent it, and so I got it yesterday. And I was like, I'm not ready. So I kind of just like, cause I just got the Suburban. Yesterday was a big day with the Suburban and everything I went through with yesterday's talk. And so I'm just like, I've been overstimulated for like 3 days straight. And I'm just like, oh my God, I just stay grounded. I've been taking like 2 showers a day just to stay grounded. And I just keep dancing. Anyway. So, and I sent it to my landlord, a picture of the book, and she's like, "Oh, I have it." And I was like, "Well, don't worry, she's got too much stuff to do. She don't need to look for it." So my Earth Angel sent it to me. Oroyo Hondo. And it says, "With its beautiful and magnificent people, past, present, and future," right? And so I start from it, and it has all these stories in the front and stuff. I haven't read the whole thing. I was just looking for names. And then one last tidbit. When my brother was in kindergarten, he started school in Ventura where Mom left off. Isn't that funny, Ma?
Yeah.
But it was like 5 years, but you lived all over in between that 5 years. It wasn't like you graduated, stayed there for 5 years and had Jerry. It was you graduated, went off, got married somebody else, but had all this other life and then ended up in Ventura, and then Jerry started school where you exited. Isn't that interesting? I think so too. So page 150. So Jerry, when he was in kindergarten, it had like all these questionnaires, man. It was weird, the stuff that they like had, it was weird. Anyway, and it was like your mom's maiden name, and Mom's maiden name was listed as Loretta Cisneros on that piece of paper, right? And I remember Cisneros always sticking in my mind, like those were like somehow related to her originally. I thought it was Italian. It always seemed Italian to me, And evidently it's a Latin name. I don't know. So, I come across on page 153, it says here, Juan Herrera, which is our cousin's paternal grandparents. I'll just read it. It says Juan Herrera, and then it says their children, Teofilio, Elisa, Sten Severson, Elva, and Charlie. And then it says Anita, and she was married to Nick Cisneros. And I was like, holy... And then so I go up and I say, what's this 67 here? What's this number 67 related to? So I go into the front of the book, and it has a ledger, and it has 63, and it has 66 through 69. So these four people are all tied to this one QC deed from 10/30/1907. So Mom is actually the long lost. Ma, you a land baron? You a landowner, Ma? By birthright? God brought us all the way to freaking Arroyo Hondo, New Mexico. I called my brother and I told him, I called and left him a message. I said, I think I found Mom's parents. Now, this is not verified. I'm going to verify it. The story unfolds. So, I said, I think I found Mom's parents and they're in the same neighborhood we moved to. And so he calls me back. Pretty quick, actually. He's a big, important lawyer. California. He's worked in the state like 30 years, 25 years, forever. Anyway. God, he's so Virgo. I made the mistake of saying that orphanages were started in the 1950s. And he's like, nope. He looked it up. Nope, in 17. And I was just like, well, dude, they've been taking brown babies. They've been human trafficking forever. Mom was just human trafficked like so many of these other people. That's all. But Mr. Lawyer, you don't want to look at it like that. Anyway. So I call him up and I'm giving him all the demographics. And I'm cussing. I'm like, I'm like, I adapt to where people are. I cuss. If people don't like cussing, I'm going to try not to cuss around them. But I kept cussing. Because I cuss when I get fired up. But I was really freaking fired up. And so our cousin is in the Bay Area and he's in Sacramento. So I'm like, dude, maybe you might want to consider reaching out to her. You know? I mean, you're related. You don't want anything, you know? I don't want anything. You know, I was like, and I said this in the other video, I said, God brought us back here so Mom could be at the land, but it would be a trip if Mom was still related to people that were still alive around here, and that she could meet her relatives and stuff like that. To see people, it's a trip when people, it's like you don't see yourself in other people's faces anywhere until you start having kids. But all these people have all these relations. It's in their DNA. They have all these kids, you know. You see your cousin, you see all everybody's one version of each, of their line, all history and all that stuff. And so, God gave me the strength and the courage to deliver us back here so Mom could, you know, maybe find, you know, me too. I mean, us find family, you know, that, and I told him, because my brother, I mean, he's a total, he makes fun of me because I live in woo woo. I said, Jerry, I believe in miracles because they're freaking revealed to me all the time. It's an amazing story. And it don't even need to get out. Because it goes to the people that need to hear it, you know? Those that are like downtrodden and that just need to believe that freaking all the crap is worth going through. Because it all ultimately pans out to something. It's freaking amazing, man. I can't even make this stuff up. Are you kidding me right now? Are you rubbing his jowls? It's all right. You can spoil him, Ma. Dude, how he started out, man. He was like 11 months old. Somebody didn't like his attitude, so they dumped him off at a farmhouse in Trainer, Iowa. And he was there for like 9 days. And this mother-daughter were out there riding their horses, and they knew I was in a pet rescue, so they got a hold of me, sent me a picture. I said, I got a hold of the rescue, Basset Beagle Rescue of the Heartland in Omaha. It's a good operation. They save a lot of freaking pets. Anyway, so I said, I'll foster him if you want to take him on. And then I tried to adopt him out 2 times. And the 3rd time he was supposed to go to Owatha, Kansas. I cried for 3 days. And the girl left and he stayed. Ultimately. And I've been trying to keep our family together, and this is how we ended up, and the story is amazing, and thank God. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a rad day. Oh, you know what? I gotta look in the chat. See if there's... Nope, nobody there. Good deal.